This is An Infinite Path, spoken word essays by Niles Heckman, some of which go on to become our documentary short subject films, half of which release freely here through the podcast, all of which can be found through your support at nilesheckman.com. Health is physical, mental, and social well-being, and not only the absence of disease. It is truly your most precious possession. At the time of writing this essay, this author has been in numerous days of physical pain. In my infinite wisdom, I went off-roading on a densely wooded property my family has, and got severe poison oak below the waist, on my arms, torso, and even some on my face. I somehow managed to get it on my eyelids as well, which have succumbed to swelling, and thank goodness have been in the process of de-swelling for the last few days. It takes moments like these in life to really remind you that every day you feel good is a good day, and to appreciate those days. When alive and healthy and feeling physically well, it is truly a good time for your astrology. It allows you to see why those who are in prolonged, constant pain, perhaps into their golden years, just want to go to the state of Oregon, which has assisted suicide, and wrap it up on their own terms. When health is absent, wealth is essentially useless. Those who are monetarily wealthy may not always be healthy, but healthy people always have aspects of wealth. Mental and physical well-being are worth more than gold and silver. Living in poverty in the first world can mean subsistence and struggle, which is rough and is never to be downplayed. But if you're poor and healthy, you have the option to still live life okay. Young kids in poorer parts of South America, for example, may live in a cinder block hut with a mud floor and kick the football around on the dirt lot half the day, but may still be having fun growing up with the minimal amount of comforts in their small village. And by football, I mean European football, soccer as it's called in the US of A, which is the real football, as American football should really be called hand egg, because it's an egg-shaped ball players hold with their hands, and the European version is a ball they kick with their feet. But anyway, I digress. If one does have all the money in the world, and has not done all they can to be the best version of themselves which they can be, then money doesn't matter, because they are in mental sickness, which will be followed by physical sickness. There are physical reflections on what is actually mental misalignment, in which case they end up in a Steve Jobs type situation in which all the money in the world can't save them. My mother had primary biliary cirrhosis of the liver in the early 2000s and got about as far as humanly possible before the universe gave her a liver transplant. But she was so physically miserable up until that point that she started to occasionally confess things to the family such as, "I'm not sure if I want to go on living anymore." She was very, very lucky to get to the top of the transplant list and is subsequently still alive at this time as a result, but with an endless litany of various physical health issues, which are constant and never-ending and ongoing, which does get very old for her old bones. So it really takes being sick or not feeling 100% to appreciate all those days we are healthy, especially when you're young. We don't fully respect our health or even take advantage of how good we feel via teenage young adult shenanigans, such as eating fecal-filled fast food barf in a bag, binge drinking out of red plastic college party cups, sleeping around to get HPV or herpes, the physical gifts which keep on giving, etc. A consistent lifestyle starting in your youth of healthy living via the two main reasons we've always heard, diet and exercise, not forgetting a healthy environment, strong real relationships, economic well-being, proper personal hygiene, and good old laughter. So you never have to have a traditional medicine doctor, quack or not, give you an eventual diagnosis of a dark, stormy rain cloud one day. So then you only start really changing your bad habits when the Grim Reaper is knocking at your door. Food industries need to be incentivized to provide healthy natural foods and not high-fructose corn syrup, factory-farmed, chemical-sprayed, processed crap to maximize their output and profits. Same story with every private industry, blah, blah, blah. While healthcare systems could focus on health care, which have way more to do with prevention, over just corrective healthcare, which is an industry. Imagine a country where you get paid every time you do anything to increase mental or physical health, such as meditate, get cardiovascular exercise, do yoga, or go to the gym, for example. So everything is focused on prevention rather than back-end treatment, which would cost less than the current black hole money pit, works fabulous if you're wealthy, but bankrupts you if you're not, dumpster fire that is the American healthcare system. And since our esoteric development comes to show us that many things are mirrored back to front, we know much, if not all, of the healthcare system is actually an American sick care system. Not to mention the potential to decentralize industry and innovation and creativity in providing many alternate healthy living solutions. So although it sounds a bit corny, and yes, slightly syrupy, it really is true that health is wealth. The life of a healthy woman, man, is long-lasting wealth. It gives them the ability to live life to the fullest. And it's a simple and immersive phrase which has very deep truths to it. Just like many other phrases which have occult meanings and will surely be future essays on, such as mind over matter, where there is a will, there is a way, and merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Ultimately, this really boils down to quality of life versus standard of living, where standard of living is to do with income, class, stress, affordability, infrastructure, crime, and a bunch of other economic and cultural aspects, which factor into your ability to have time to carry into your conscious health choices, but at the same time may sever you from nature and your natural environment. While quality of life is to do with freedoms and is usually higher for those humans that are in more balance with their natural environment. Freedoms from overt physical slavery to covert mental slavery, spiritual practice, privacy, thought, vote, education, etc. Much of which were way more advanced in ancient times. The main difference between standard of living and quality of life is that the former is more objective, while the latter is more subjective. But regardless of your subjective angle you approach this from due to your culture or cultural programming, the real measure of both health and wealth is your time. Your time for yourself to pursue your interests and passions. So be time rich, which when in alignment for, allows you to live a lower stress life on your own schedule with your own terms, which has rewards that money cannot buy.